What is going on, my PD peeps? Thank you for joining me for another live stream. I am your professor, the PD professor, Malik, and I'm here to answer your questions. It is Q&A time. So, let's go ahead and jump right into it with no further ado. Let's see what's cracking up in here. We got a lot of people joining us right now. This is a beautiful, beautiful scene that I'm seeing right here. Let's see. First, we got my boy Neil Forbes who says, "Hi, Malik. You're streaming later than usual this week. Usually you start at 11 a.m. Australia East Coast Daylight Time." I always start at 8. Now, there was one time that I started early, and that was because it was my birthday, and I wanted to just get the hell over with the live stream and hang out with my wife. But this is the start time. It's always 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. My time, baby. My time, Neil. It's not always about Australia, okay? Even though I love Australia, it's not always about you, buddy. What's going on, Neil? Thanks for joining us, man. All right, let's see. Neil Forbes said, "Can I turn slow mode off?" Nope, I turned that on, and I turned it on because I get a lot of comments coming through, like real fast, and sometimes I need to slow them down so I can try to stay caught up with the conversation. So I can't have people sending 2 and 3 messages in a row. Slow mode is on. All right. Let's see here. My boy Peter J. Milner is in the building. He says, "Hello, all," or "Good evening, all." So if you have not noticed, Peter is my moderator. You see he has the little wrench symbol next to his name. So he has authority to shut you fools down when you start doing things out of pocket, start acting crazy up in here. Peter will just lay the smackdown on you. So just understand he has a right to do that if he wants to, and I'm not going to stop him. I'm just going to let him just brutalize people in the comment section. Get to brutalizing, Peter. All right, let's see what else is going on here. We got people talking about where they from and where they at. Bad Wolf says, "Howdy, what's going on, Bad Wolf? Thanks for joining me again for another live stream. Good to see you back in the comment section, hanging out with all the other PD peeps in the building." Ed Chaos says, Sup, Ed Chaos. Thank you for coming to the live stream for PowerDirector Q&A. I'm ready to start answering some questions. I'm ready for y'all to start hitting me up with the hard stuff, okay? I'm ready. I've been amped and ready for this all day. I've been going through my Rolodex. Do people still have Rolodex? Do people still use... Look, if you still use Rolodex, put that in the comments, okay? If you don't know what the hell Rolodex are, say what the hell are Rolodex in the comments, all right? Let's see. Go Lightly Photo says, "Thank you for everything. You helped me tremendously." You're very welcome, Go Lightly Photos. You know what? That's one of the big things about doing this that I love. I love helping out all of my PD peeps that come to me with questions, that rely on me to help them learn how to use the program, and the gratitude that they show for the time that I take to do what I do. It's really humbling, and I appreciate it so much. So thank you. All of you. Thank you. All right, let's see. All right. Haha. Oh, Richard J. Pacini says, "Hi, Malik. Rich here. What's going on, Rich? Thank you for joining me for another live stream, my friend. Always seeing you in the comment section. It's good to see you back hanging out with your boy. Just trying to get a little bit of PowerDirector love up in here for a Wednesday evening." Let's see here. Peter J. Milner says, "Does anyone here use Sony camera gear?" I don't. I'm a Canon guy. It's all about Canon for me, but Pretty sure there's some other people in there that use Sony. So if y'all use Sony, hit up Peter in the comments. Let him know what's what. Beres Den says, thank you for everything you do for us. You have been a huge help. I was wondering if you had tips or tricks on using 8:7 format videos from a GoPro and making 16:9 and other formats from them. So Beres Den, I don't use GoPros, so I'm not really too aware of what capabilities there are within PowerDirector to shift from a 8:7 to a 16:9. Just from knowing what the settings are within PowerDirector, I would think that that's probably not something that is too simple to do, because there are certain aspect ratios that you have. Now, there are some tools in the Action Camera Center that will help you to identify a certain camera and then use those camera profiles to go ahead and help with lens distortion. But I've never seen anything in the Action Camera Center that deals with aspect ratios from your videos. So I don't think that that's something that is a simple fix to do within PowerDirector. Now, I'm not saying that it can't be done, because I haven't had any of those files to try to do it myself, but it would probably be a workaround if there is anything that can be done. Bad Wolf says, what are your thoughts on all the sticker packs and animated things that Cyberlink keeps putting out every month? Do people really use this stuff? It's useless fluff for what I personally do. My thoughts are, it's good for some people. Like, to your point. Personally, like for me, for the stuff I do, nah, I'm not using them stickers for anything. Now, a lot of people do use them for things like social media posts. You can even use them for like certain business videos if you really wanted to. It depends on what you're doing. Like if you're doing like I'm in a cartoon world and blah, 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 then you could use some of them stickers in even a business video. But I think the primary use for those stickers are probably like social media videos, like you either doing stories or reels or maybe even shorts. I think that those would be the most useful places for those things. Or if you're just trying to show off like certain motion, like if you've seen some of the PowerDirector promo videos that they do for some of their new effects and things, they use stickers in those, and they use them pretty effectively in their videos. But once again, those are social media posts type of promo type things that I think those stickers would be useful in. But if you're just making like wedding videos and things like that, or you're making music videos, or you're making commercials, depends on the type of commercial, then you might not use them that much. So personally, I say I don't use them. Do other people use them? Yeah, a lot of people, other people do use them for what they're doing. And I think that for those people, they're quite useful. All right, I'm just scrolling through these comments, try to see what you guys are talking about, see if there's any questions for me. Let's see. So Plant Obsessed says, do you have tips to make shorts from long form in PD? So it depends on what type of video you're making. So for me, I do a few different things. So the first thing that I do is, as you notice, whenever I do a tutorial, I show the outcome of the tutorial somewhere in the video, usually at the beginning. So that, to me, I could use that piece of the video itself just for a short. It's like 10 to 15 seconds usually. And whatever that outcome is, I put that out as a short, and I go ahead and link back to the tutorial so that people who want to do it can get back to the tutorial from there. Now, the most effective way to create a short on YouTube, in my opinion, is to upload your video, and then you can go ahead and remix your video. So it only does it, I think, on mobile though. So let me see. I don't think it has the option on desktop, and I'm in desktop right now. So let me see if it's going to give me the option. Yeah, it doesn't give me the option. So unfortunately, it doesn't give me the option unless you're on mobile. But if you have your video that you uploaded, go to the YouTube app on mobile, and when you go to your video, you'll see a button underneath it that says Remix. When you click on that, you can choose to create a short from your video. Now, the reason why I say it's the most effective way to do it is because you can scan through the whole video and choose like up to 20 seconds of it that you want to go ahead and turn into a short. And then the difference between the remix short that you do on mobile and the short that you upload is the remix short on mobile automatically includes a link back to the other video. So if someone's watching your short and they see at the bottom of it, it says created by Plant Obsessed, right? And they tap on that, it'll take them back to the video that the short was made from, and they can watch the long form content from your shorts. So that's the most effective way to create a short, and that's how I create my shorts. So if you see any of my recent shorts on YouTube, you'll see, if you watch it, it'll have a thing on it that says created by PDU tutorials. You tap on that, it'll take you to the full tutorial right there. So I like that option. Otherwise, yeah, you can go ahead and create your own shorts out of PowerDirector if you want. Let's see. North Florida Living by Tom Kerr says, do you have or is there a PowerDirector video that goes into detail on how to eliminate specific background noises without distorting the voice? Yeah, I don't have a video that talks about how to do that. So there's two ways. Within PowerDirector, there is the background noise removal tool, but some people say that they have some issues with it, and I guess you may have used that and feel that it's distorting your voice. I've used it and I haven't really felt like it has a huge impact on the audio. I would recommend that you utilize Audio Director if you want to remove background noise. I do have a tutorial for that actually shows how to go ahead and use Audio Director to go ahead and basically go ahead and get your sound right for your video. So if you want clean audio, there's a part of it that goes over compression, part of it that goes over noise reduction. And PowerDirector does a great job of removing background noise using the noise removal tool within that video. So it's pretty simple here. Let me show you what I was talking about. So it's this video here. It's called audio correction. It says how to fix your audio workflow series number 5. I will go ahead and throw that in the chat for you. So if you want to, you can go ahead and jump on that link. Bad Wolf says, what tool do you recommend for video shot in low light? End up with a lot of noise. So I don't really recommend a tool for shooting video in low light. What I do recommend is ensuring that when you shoot in low light, that you are shooting at or below the base ISO of your camera. So you can go online, you can Google if you don't know what the base ISO for your camera is, and don't go above your base ISO. That's just me. I never shoot above my base ISO. I'm always between, on my cameras, 800 or 400 if I'm in a low light situation. That's it. I don't go over 800 at all, because once you go over 800, even if it's just a little bit, you start introducing noise into your shot, and I don't want that. So what I try to do is I stay at my base ISO, and then I go ahead and I work with my I can't even think of stuff right now. I can't think of terminology right now, people. My aperture, right? So I deal with my aperture, and mostly dealing with my aperture, and also my I'm caught up right now, people. Excuse me, but I am. But basically, you deal with your other settings in your camera to make sure that you go ahead and get the right light. So I also make it a ritual, I'll say. For me, I shoot in log and I shoot raw, just so that I have the most flexibility in post, so that I can make changes and I can go ahead and make corrections. And shooting at the base ISO just allows me to do that. Also, if you got a light meter, if you don't have a light meter, invest in one. Get yourself a light meter and dial it in to your base ISO, and then go ahead and use it. Check out the stats, and it'll tell you what aperture you should be shooting at, what shutter speed you should be shooting at, all of that stuff based on your camera. So go ahead, get yourself a light meter. Also, don't go above your base ISO. Those are the things that I do. I don't worry about tools to help with noise, because I don't have to deal with it, because I shoot in a way that I don't introduce a lot of noise into my footage. Captain John said, can you do a video on how to take a YouTube video I own and post it to TikTok? So I don't think that I would do a video on that. It's not really something that I would even say to do. I mean, taking your YouTube video and posting it to TikTok, or a TikTok video and posting it. The problem with that is when you do that, for some cray reason, you'll like have a watermark Like, I don't think you have a watermark on the YouTube when you download it, but I know that if you download a TikTok video and other videos and you try to post it somewhere else, it'll go ahead and like identify it as a video from another source. I don't know how it does it, or if it's just a watermark. I'm not sure. But I would just recommend creating different videos within PowerDirector at different aspect ratios for the social media site that you're going to do it on. So if you're going to make a video on YouTube, do it in 16 by 9. And then if you're going to do a short on YouTube, change your aspect ratio to 9 by 16. And then go ahead and make whatever adjustments you're going to need, because some of your footage may need to be adjusted because you're changing the aspect ratio, right? Then if you're going to do one for like Instagram Reels, do a 4 by 3. Change your aspect ratio, produce that one. Change your aspect ratio to, or change your resolution to 1280 by 720. Make it 16 by 9 aspect ratio. Produce that and put that one on Twitter. So basically, I would just go back, change my aspect ratio and resolution based on what social media platform I'm doing, and I would do that. I mean, that to me could be done while you're sitting at the computer in one fell swoop. You can get 4 or 5 videos knocked out like that, and don't even have to worry about taking them from YouTube and putting it somewhere else. You just make them for all of the different platforms that you're going to be posting it to. Steve Williams said, Malik, what happened last week as the stream crashed? Twice, I think. Man, that was like garbage. So I don't know what happened. My streaming software that I use was fine. It showed that I was still streaming. Everything was still live. I'm going hot. I got the red stream button on. Everything was good. And then I noticed in the comments that it said that, hey, Malik left. He's gone, yada, yada, yada. So when I pulled up the YouTube screen and looked at the stream, it said the stream had ended. So it was in the background. I wasn't even available to like even click on end or anything in the YouTube stream. And my streaming software still said it was streaming. So I have no idea, man, what happened. But when it was all over, I went to YouTube and noticed that I had one live stream that was like an hour and 15 minutes, and then another live stream that was like 15 minutes, right? So I don't know what happened, Steve. It was all jacked up to be damned, my brother. All jacked up to be damned. All right. I'm just trying to get caught up to where you guys are real quick. Bad Wolf says, regarding quality, which would you do, or is there no difference when shooting using a camera, digital zoom, or shoot normal and zoom in post? I don't really like digital zoom or zoom in post. It's just me. I like using zoom lenses that I can go ahead and dial in. Like I got a 18 to 35 lens, and you can zoom in with that. You go from a wide view of 18 millimeters to 35. You can zoom in. Digital zoom, I'm not a big fan of. It doesn't look as smooth as regular zoom lens. Zooming in post, not a big fan of that either, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. It's really up to you and your preference. If you like how it looks better in camera, then go ahead and do the digital zoom. If you like how it looks better in post, then do it post. It's like, there's no wrong answer for things like that. It's really up to preference and what you're used to and how you can make it look. If you feel like it looks like crap because you use digital zoom, then you probably shouldn't be using it. So that's my answer. I don't like either one of those options. It's just me. Let's see. Sean in Alaska says, Merry Christmas, Malik. Merry Christmas, Sean. Thank you for joining me for another live stream, my friend. Appreciate you, man. Bad Wolf says, more of a comment than a question, but I thinking learnings. Okay, I lost it. Try that again. How to use keyframes can really take your editing skill to the next level. Very powerful. Yeah, it can. I think that in any program, any editing software, keyframes is like the key to editing and getting some of the results that you want based on what you're doing. So if you don't know how to keyframe, I got a bunch of videos out there on how to keyframe and a bunch of tutorials that show keyframing in different circumstances. So you can just search how to keyframe PowerDirector and you should see my video. Yeah, and Peter also mentioned here, he said there's an hour-long video Malik did on the whole editing process, including all elements some time ago. Sound was part of it. You'll likely pick up a number of other tips too. Yeah, that's a great point, my friend. See if I can go ahead and find that one. Let's see. Here's the one that he's talking about. So let me share this one with you guys too. If you want to know an end-to-end process, like I said, it's an hour long. So if you got some time on your hands and you want to see an end-to-end process, it's going to go through editing, color correction, audio correction, producing. It goes through the whole nine. If you want an end-to-end tutorial, that's the one you got to watch. All right, let's see. Yeah, Bad Wolf says shutter speed. Yeah, I finally got it out of my mouth, but it took me long enough. Peter Milner says, I have two Sony A7S IIIs, which have the capability to go ridiculously high ISO. They are a low light monster, as is the much cheaper Sony ZV-E10. So here's the thing about high ISO. High ISO, I think, is a novelty. I will always say that it's a novelty because my camera has extremely high ISO too. Now, you may feel like the Sony is usable at high ISO, and that's fine. And some people might feel like the camera I use, my Canon C70, is usable at high ISO. I don't like taking the risk of introducing any noise and then having to fix it in post because I don't have to. Like, to me, using higher ISO is like, I don't know, man. It's causing more issues that you got to fix later on. Why not just do what you got to do up front, keep your base ISO where it's at, correct your other settings, and your shot's clean. You don't got to go into post and worry about decreasing noise at any way, shape, or form. And if you did do a side-by-side of the Sony A7S III at a high ISO and at its base ISO, even though the high ISO might look great, you will notice noise. If you take the same shot side by side with two of them and you do base ISO and a high, there will still be noise introduced. It's just going to be probably acceptable, right? So this is give and take there. But I hear you. I've heard good things about the Sony a7S III and its ability to shoot in low light. So I'm not knocking it because I have heard from others the same thing. So it's all good. Paul Feiger. What's going on, Paul? Thanks for joining us, man. Paul Feiger says, what graphics card do you recommend to make AI available? So I really wouldn't say that I recommend any graphics cards because I'm just not the type of dude that goes and looks at, well, let me see which graphics cards are going to be good for this, that, and the other. I'm not that type of techie dude that keeps up on all the graphics cards out there and which graphics cards are the best. So I really probably wouldn't be the right guy to ask that question. Who would be Cyberlink support. So they should know like how much RAM you need and what graphics card they recommend for you to be able to use AI. So, I mean, the few different ways you can go about getting to them. So one of those ways, let's say that you're in PowerDirector and you're like, hey, I want to know one of these guys to contact me back and tell me, you know, which graphics card I should use. So if you go to File and you go to Rate Us and Provide Suggestions, you can actually go in here and ask a question. Make sure that you click on Include Email Address. Type in your email address here. Submit and accept and submit. Right? So you can send them all types of questions. Or you can make suggestions for new features. You can tell them that they suck. You can do whatever you want. And it's really easy to do from right here. Sorry, I didn't have it on the screen fully. But it's really easy to do from right here. Like I said, you just go to File, Rate Us and Provide Suggestions. And then you get the, now it's gone because that's just life. Oh, there it is. I'm going to close this out. So here you go. You rate it up here. Say how can you make, it says how can we make this product better for you? But you can ask whatever question you want. It doesn't matter. And if you include your email address for them to respond back, they will. Okay. It says we may contact you to help you resolve your issue by email. So just keep that in mind. It's a great way to get in contact with them right from the software whenever you got issues. Yeah, Peter says Malik did do a noise workaround in PD Mobile a while ago. Yeah, they have a noise removal tool actually. Do they have one in PowerDirector? I don't. No, they don't. But I just did a workaround, like you said, in the mobile version. So don't have one in desktop though. All right. For North Florida Living, sorry, lost you for a second there. It says, where can I find detailed information on the various file formats and provide quality settings, when you go into produce mode, what do you recommend for settings? All right, so a few different answers for you. North Florida Living by Tom Kerr. Or should I just say Tom? I'll call you Tom. All right. First and foremost, if you go ahead and go to YouTube and type in PowerDirector file formats, I have a video here. It's quite old, okay, but still applies today on how to go ahead and choose file formats. And this explains the different file formats that were available in PowerDirector back then. I don't think there's too much of a difference now. I think it has H.265. And just to talk about H.265 for a second, H.265 is just basically a smaller file size H.264. That's the way that I look at it. This is just great quality, smaller file size. That's about the extent of it as far as I'm concerned. Now, you might see a bigger difference than me, but that's a difference that I see. So, file formats, that video should help you out as far as picking file formats and what each file format should be used for. That video is great. Now, as far as recommendations goes, when I create videos, I think we talked a little bit about this the other day. I always create 4K videos, and I use H.264 because I'm not too concerned about the file size. So if I go ahead, if I click on produce here, you'll see that my profile type is custom. I choose and create my own custom profile with my own settings. So I use H.264. Like I said, if there were another one on here, I'd probably use H.265. A file extension I use is MP4. And my profile name, I'll call it 4K DCI. So when you go to custom, you can go ahead and what I'm going to do is edit this one that we're already in so that you can see what I did here. So basically, I give it a description. The codec, I choose a bit rate of 15,000 on here. Here's my resolution, 4096 by 2160. So that's the 4K DCI, not UHD. My frame rate, I select here. Frame type is progressive, high profile, CABAC, ACC sound. Audio bit rate is 384. Stereo and speed quality indicator is quality mode. So these are the settings that I choose. So if you click on video, you can go in here and you can like choose different resolutions from here, right? So you got the different ones that are available here. Frame rates, you can choose different frame rates right here. Your frame type, it's progressive. So basically, if you don't know what any of these settings are for, I know CABAC is basically the way that the order of your frames, I can't remember exactly what it is, but I would even have to look it up because I can't remember. But I did look it up before I selected which one I was going to do. So you would have to look it up just to make sure that you got the right information on that. So that's it. Then audio, you got my settings here. I just always go for the highest kilobit per second if I can. So these are my settings that I use. I choose a custom profile because I want it to be exactly how I want it. And from that perspective, I'm talking about resolution, my frame rate, things like that. Like there are different like default profiles that you can go to in here. And if I wanted to, I can get 4096 by 2160, but it's only 30p. I can't get 24 frames per second. Then I got UHD settings in here. Got 2K, right? So there's different things in the default that you can't get when you create your own custom profile. So I create custom profiles. So that's me. Bad Wolf says, smash that like button, folks. That's right. Listen to the Bad Wolf. And smash. Get your smash on. Smash, smash, smash. Courtney Fuel says, hi y'all. I'm still trying to figure out where freeze frame is so I can make thumbnails. Sorry for being a beginner. I use PD app on my iPad. Okay, so on your iPad, there should be a freeze frame option at the bottom. So if you put something on your, I think it's the overlay track. Put something on the overlay track, tap on the edit icon, and then you should have an option for freeze frame. If it's not there, put it on the main track, the main media track, and tap on the edit icon and see if you have the option for freeze frame there. It's one of those two. Can't remember off the top of my head. But I know you have to tap on the edit icon and then you'll have the freeze frame option in the app. Steve Williams says, at Bad Wolf, although Malik is good, no disputing that, but I find that the Sharper Turtle possibly does a better job in explaining keyframes better. Yeah, well, it's all about opinion. So I appreciate the fact that you are open, that you have your opinion about who does better, myself or Sharper Turtle. We're both freaking awesome. So that's all I got to say. Let's see. NKI says, boy, that new caption feature is a time saver, baby. Wish I had it 6 months ago. Yeah. I wish I had it 10 years ago. while you messing around. That's a great feature, man. There's a world of good for everybody who uses it. Saves a lot of time. My boy Alan Sound Speed says, Malik, I just saw that you're live. Great to see you live streaming now. Yeah, my brother. I used to do so. And Steve Williams tried to get me to get back to this, I think. Or was it Peter? I think it was Peter. I used to actually do a live stream once a month whenever PowerDirector made updates on mobile or whenever they made updates on 365. I used to have an update live stream, and that was like 2021 and part of 2022. Stopped doing that just because of the fact that the updates were coming, and I'd be coming with my live stream like a week or so later, and it's kind of old by then. So yada. But I started doing these live streams again back in November, and these live streams are just Q&A. So I answer questions, just talk to my people, have a good time, just relax, do what we do. PowerDirector lovers, baby. PowerDirector lovers. Thanks for joining me, brother. Oh, my goodness. Bad Wolf says, anyone have tips for enhancing old home movies from VHS? One of mine is to use the dehaze. I set it to about 20 and it reduces the washed out look and increases the colors. Huh. Interesting that you're able to use a dehaze for that. I mean, makes sense that it would be able to have that type of effect on the video. I'm not big on the VHS to digital thing. I know there's other tools out there and there's a lot of services out there that do it, but if you could do it yourself with PowerDirector, more power to you. Peter said, I think if you shoot in RAW, the settings are to a point irrelevant as they can be changed in post. So are you saying if you shoot in RAW, then you should just leave your settings like on whatever the heck and just go and fix everything in post? Like, once again, I'm kind of like, I don't know, maybe I'm a purist when it comes to shooting video, but I want to do things in camera. As much as I can do in camera, I'm going to do in camera to get it right. Like shooting raw, to me, yeah, you got more flexibility in post. You could like white balance, I mean, you could do all types of stuff with everything, right? And with raw footage, not everything, right? But a lot of settings you can adjust and change when you're shooting raw. But to my point, not everything, right? Also, once again, I'm a purist. I want to do it right in my planning. I plan my shots. I plan what speed I'm going to do them up, what frame rate I'm going to use. All of that stuff is planned. I want to get close to the right exposure in camera. I want to do everything. I want to have my IRE level set. I want everything to be right in camera. I plan all of that stuff out so that when I go into post, there's less artificial, or I don't know what you want to call it. Not artificial. I guess it is artificial. But there's less post production work that I need to do to make it have the look that I want it to look like. I want to do those things in camera. That's me. Soundspeed says, Bad Wolf asks a great question. Old VHS movies can be low light and high contrast, plus grainy. What is a good fix for that? I'm curious too. Yeah, like I said, I'm just not the dude for VHS converting to digital. It's not my thingamajig. I don't really play in that space too much. But it looks like Bad Wolf does, so he probably, like you said, he uses dehaze. He probably has all kind of tips and tricks that he can share. Steve Williams says, graphics card choice is sadly down to cost. NVIDIA 4090 is clearly the best for pretty much everything, but wow, it's really expensive. How freaking expensive are we talking here, Steve? Let's see. Let's see if we can. I want to know. I'm curious because I know you talked about this graphics card before. And like I said, I'm just not the like big up to spec type. Good Lord. Come on now. Is this the RTX 4090? This is out of control, brother. Hold on for a second, man. That's sad, man. Sad. I'm just kind of looking at like where the prices of these things are going. Like you can get a processor like for less than your graphics cards. It's getting out of control, brother. It's like crazy. Look at that, man. Nah, I'll stick with what I got. But what I got works, so Like things like that, man. Like this, sometimes you just got to make decisions. And just like if your graphics card isn't working and you need to do like artificial intelligence, you need to use the AI tools within PowerDirector, Paul. Then I mean, it might be worth it for you to get that. But I mean, do you have to use the AI tools? Is it like something you want to do? Is $1,600 like worth it to use that? Are you going to be getting more use out of the graphics card than just using those AI tools? Is there other stuff you're going to use it for in your workflow? So it might be worth it, might not. I don't know, my brother. I don't know. And it looks like we got something from my good old moderator, Pete. Went ahead and shared this. So this is for, I guess, converting from analog to digital. Yep. So thank you for sharing that, my brother. Appreciate you. Let's see here. Just looking through the comments. Robin Alley Cruise and Travel said, "Hi Malik, sorry I'm late. Hey, how you guys doing? Thank you for joining me for another live stream. Appreciate you dropping through." Alley Cruise and Travel said, "I'm thinking of getting an editing console for ease, something like the Tourbox Elite. Any thoughts or suggestions, please?" So I'm not familiar with the Tourbox Elite, but I could definitely look it up. Might not have any suggestions for you with that, but hey. Okay, so the Tourbox Elite. Oh, it said Loop Deck versus Tourbox right there. So, yep, Loop Deck. Let's see if I could just. There we go. So the Loop Deck much more expensive than the Tourbox. So that's one thing that you need to think about if you're looking at the differences here. But this is also an editing console. I heard a lot of good things about the Loop Deck, but unless you have the funds for this one, you might need to save up a little bit before you get it. I'm not very familiar with the Tourbox Neo, but my recommendation would be to go ahead and jump on the Loop Deck. Peter, who's the moderator in this chat, has a lot of experience with this device, so he should be able to tell you about it a little bit more. So Steve Williams says, "Malik, do you run everything through Handbrake before posting?" No, I do not run anything through Handbrake before posting. I always just go straight from PowerDirector. I produce my video and I upload it from my desktop or my hard drive to YouTube. I don't ever do things through Handbrake. Now, Handbrake is a great tool if you need to decrease file size for certain reasons. Maybe you're storing stuff in the cloud and you want to save some file size, or you are sending a file to someone on a cloud storage, or maybe email if you can shrink it down small enough, things like that. but I don't use it for every upload that I do. I don't use it really for any uploads that I do. So WebHype says, is there a way to access your PowerDirector 365 cloud storage from a browser to upload, download your content or projects? I don't think so. Let's see here. Yeah, I think the only way you can do it is through the file menu in PowerDirector. So you got the download project from Cyberlink Cloud and upload project to Cyberlink Cloud. You could pack your project materials to the cloud. I'm not aware of any other way you could do that through a browser. Now, I know you should be able to go see the things in the Cyberlink Cloud. So let's go ahead, pull that up real quick. I just got to put in my credentials, and I ain't gonna show y'all. So it is what it is. Let me get a little bit of typing music going on here. Sorry for the delay, my people. Yes, I do. Sorry about the delay, people. Yeah, it's not letting me access the cloud right now, so I'm not going to be able to test that out. So sorry about that. All right. All right. Peter says, obviously do the majority in camera, but raw is a get out of jail card. If you screw things up, ask me how I know. Yeah, I know too. I don't get this question. If anybody else gets this question, help me out. It says, Dear Malik, how can I cut one video after the other in the cut screen without having to press on the sizers for every video again? I I don't get what you're asking. Cut screen. I don't know if you mean the trim or what. I would need more information. I'm sorry. All right. Steve Williams says, Malik, you can't even get them for $1,600. They're in such high demand and cost a lot more than that. Scalpers be damned. Wow, that's crazy, man. When the supply and demand, like when you got these people buying things in bulk and then selling them at crazy prices. I hate that. I really, really hate that, man. Taking advantage of the consumers that want something sucks. Yeah, Peter says, I use Loop Deck, both the live and the CT out of the two. The CT is just so versatile. Guess I got some buffering going on here. Let's see what's happening. All right, that should fix it up. Buffering should be fixed, so apologize for that. I don't think it liked the fact that I had a bunch of tabs open in my browser, so sometimes you got to deal with those things. Babel says, hey, PowerDirector peeps, don't forget to help support Malik's work if you can. Patreon, etc. Let's all send him some fruitcakes for the holidays. I would definitely love some fruitcakes. Okay, if anybody want to hit me up with a fruitcake, be my guest. So, since Bad Wolf brought it up, I might as well use this as time for a shameless plug to get some support for the channel. So, as you can see at the top of the chat, there is a sticker. And I got plenty of different stickers. If you want to just plaster stickers of PDU all over yourself, you go to my PowerDirector University store. You can find different stickers, pillows, t-shirts, hats, beanies, socks, coffee mugs, all kind of great stuff on there that you can use. Please feel free. If you want to give to the channel, please feel free to go over there, pick up some PowerDirector University merchandise. If merchandise is not what you want to give, but you still want to support a brother, at the bottom of the chat, there is a little $sign. You can click on that little $sign, and you can go ahead and provide me with support through a super sticker or a super chat, which will help fund the channel so that I can continue to come up with ideas and make videos for you guys. Shout out right now, just got a super chat from Paul Feiger for $20. Thank you so much, Paul. Appreciate you, man. The support that you give and continue to give is appreciated, and it really helps the channel keep going. As you guys know, in the past, I've had some rough times with YouTube and, keeping channels going. I used to have 4 channels at one point, and I kind of broke it down to just the 2 that I have now. And your support helps me keep going, even in the times when I feel like, man, I'm doing all this stuff here and there, and again, and all this work that I'm doing to plan and come up with tutorials and yada, yada, yada. At the end of the day, when you guys support me, watching my videos, leaving me comments, leaving me likes, and also supporting me through super chat, super stickers, and through buying my merch, those things help me keep going. So I appreciate you guys so, so, so much. You can't even begin to understand how much I value you guys. So thank you for all you do. If you can afford to, please go ahead and support the channel. And by the way, thank you to all of my channel members. If you are on Team PDU and you are a member of my channel, thank you for joining. Thank you for supporting me every single month. It means the world to me. All right. Easy. That's great. So that's great. Peter says that Loop Deck has a PowerDirector profile created by LoopDeck themselves. It's really easy to install and just start using it. That's awesome, man. It's good to know. Shout out to Bad Wolf for the super chat or the super sticker for $9.99. Appreciate that. Boom. Paul Feiger sent me that super chat. Want to show you some love, Paul, for that. Appreciate you, my brother. Stewie the Chewy. What's going on, Stewie the Chewy? He says, hey, everyone. How are you tonight, Malik? Sorry I'm late. What have I missed, man? You missed so much. I was on here nude for like 5 minutes, but, you missed it. I'm not going to recreate that. You don't want to see that anyway. That might make things spew out of your throat. All right. Neil Forbes says, uploading to YouTube, I create my edit, store it to a folder, then upload from that folder via YouTube's upload facility. That is the one thing I do not use, man, that YouTube upload. I don't know about y'all. Y'all might use it, but YouTube changes things on their end so much that it's hard for me to get on board with using the YouTube upload feature in PowerDirector. I just produce my video to a usable file, put it on my hard drive, and then go to YouTube and do it manually. I have more control over the options when I do it that way too, so that's just me. MB says, hey everyone, doing some late night editing here and watching PDU. Going to be a long night, getting distracted by the live chat. Thanks for joining us, MB. Appreciate that. Even while you do, like somebody was doing that last time. I can't remember who it was, man. I'm like, man, I can't like edit and like listen to like something else or watch something else at the same time. I guess I just don't have that versatility in me. I don't have that multitasking capability. I'm just like, let me get this editing done. So C1 says, yo, I'm trying to open the PDF file on Mac, but when I go to import it, it's a blank file. File is broken. How do I fix this? So if it's like, what do you mean it's a blank file? You open it and nothing is in PowerDirector, or it's not opening at all, like it's corrupt. If it's corrupt, there's nothing you can do about it. Now, there is a way that you can go back and check through all of your project saves, and if you saved it, like if you have automatic saves turned on, then there's a location on your machine where you can find all of the automatic saves, and maybe it'll have one that saved it an hour ago or 5 minutes ago, or it depends on the frequency of your save settings. But let me pull this up real quick, and I will send you the link. Here we go. There's a video here called Recover Lost Projects. So basically, if you have autosave set up in your preferences, then you should be able to find an older version of that saved video. Maybe it won't be the same one, the last one that you did, but you should be able to find it and at least salvage some of your project. All right. But keep in mind, you got to have your files set up. And I talk about this in the video, but make sure that when you go to preferences and you go to I think it's editing. Nope. Project. You want to have autosave project checked. And you can have it autosave on whatever frequency you want, from 2 minutes to 120 minutes. So I have mine set to automatically save every 5 minutes. Now keep in mind what that's going to do is it's going to create a lot of temporary cache files on your machine. And if you click on this where it says browse, it'll show you like where the location is on your machine, where the files are saved. And I go over all of this in that video, so I'm not going to go through it again. You can watch it, check it out, see all the goodness. Yeah, Peter said, don't forget the LUTs transitions. They're actually really good. So I also have like on my website. So thank you for bringing that up, Peter. I have PowerDirectorUniversity.com. I have a website and I have a store on there where I sell some assets that you can use in your projects. So let me pull that up for you. This is once again talking about, just supporting the channel if you want to. So here on my website, I have a digital, I have a products store. Got some digital products here, some LUTs that you can get, frames. I got some transitions that I created. So you can go ahead and purchase these at this site. And I'll go ahead and drop the link in the chat for you. All right, let's see what other questions we got. So sorry, my question is, I have 10 videos on my timeline and I want to multi-trim them without pressing on the trim button for each video again. Can I do so? Nah, you can't do that. You have like multi-trim. Matter of fact, let me see here. You should have multi-trim capabilities, so not sure. So I'm pulling up this. Yeah. Last but not least, we'll talk about multi-trim. You probably noticed that when I went into the trimming tool, there was a multi-trim option. There is an option. You should have the multi-trim option when you go in. Multiple clips from one clip while removing any unwanted segments. But yeah, that still just does like creating multiple clips from one clip, so that really wouldn't help. Nah, not any way to go ahead and do multiple clips at once using the trim tool. Paul says, I have Titler Pro 7. I'd like to incorporate that into PowerDirector. How can I do it? So Titler Pro 7, that's a new blue plugin. That, to my understanding, was never compatible with PowerDirector. So there isn't a way to actually bring it in as a plugin for PowerDirector, Paul. It would have to be used as a standalone, and you would have to then import your completed title into PowerDirector when you're done creating it in Titler Pro 7. Also, even though you bought Titler Pro 7, because it's not compatible, and because New Blue stopped, like, I guess their contract with PowerDirector is over, I don't know if it's likely that that's something that they're going to be doing anytime in the future either, unfortunately. Neil says Malik nude. Yikes! Couldn't bear the thought. LOL. Yeah, that's what she said. And then Neil also says, I'm aware of the YouTube fooling around with their methods. Clearly never heard of the phrase, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, I mean, YouTube is notorious for changing stuff, but some of the changes that they do are worthwhile and some of them ain't worth a damn. But I guess they will never know unless they try. So they are always tinkering with stuff and changing stuff, and sometimes it's for our benefit and they think it's for our benefit and it's not. So can't call it, man. Peter says, hey Malik, you did a video a while ago on some sort of animation and drawing elements to PowerDirector. I have the Wacom Cintiq 16 Pro and need to get someone to sign their name and then animate it in PD. Animation and drawing element. I can't recall what that was, man. I really can't. Animation and drawing elements. I have to give that some thought, man. But if I got your email, if it comes to mind, I'll email you, Peter. But I can't recall which one that was. All right, let's see where we are now. I guess we're all caught up. So now that I have caught up with the chat, I'm going to go ahead and check in here for any other super chats or super stickers that I might have missed within our conversation. I want to thank my man Peter J. Milner for moderating today's discussion. Also for being awake at such an ungodly hour to help me out through these live streams. It's pretty freaking awesome that he's willing to give of his time and come on here to be a part of these festivities and, you know, check on these crazy PD peeps who I love, make sure that they're behaving in this chat room. So thank you, Peter, for being here, man. It means the world to me that you agreed to help me out when I reached out to you. So thank you so much. Paul Feiger says, good night from North Carolina. Nighty night, Paul. Malik, you regularly use the pack materials option to ensure all your project assets remain together. Yes, I always use that. I religiously use that. Some things that I do religiously as I create videos is I create different save files. So I think, I can't remember who it was earlier, brought up a point about the PDS being corrupt, right? He tried to open the file and it was corrupt. If it was me, first of all, I have autosave on and it saves every 5 minutes. So if I only lose 5 minutes of content, but I don't just rely on that. I have redundancy built into my process because first and foremost, I don't want to have to go find the folder on my drive where the autosaves are. So the other thing that I do besides having autosave set up is I save as. I do file, save as, and I give my project a name and I put a different number behind the project. And I probably do that as much as I think to do it. Maybe every 10 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes. It's not like I do it on a certain amount of time, but I do it multiple times during my edit. So as I'm doing that, I'm creating multiple save files of the work that I'm doing, so that if one of those files is corrupt, I have other ones that I can go back to too. So I do file save as Malik 1, file save as Malik 2, file save as Malik 3. And I do that over and over again as I'm editing to build in redundancy. And then once I'm done, to your point, Steve, and I'm done with all my editing, everything is done, I have all of my assets in the media room. I got my save file. I do pack project materials, and I send that to my my archive hard drive, the one that has like 40 terabytes of space on it. It's an external hard drive. That's where I archive everything. So I send the project pack, that's the PDS, all the assets that were used in the video. Even if I have other assets that I didn't use, there's a little checkbox at the bottom, and it says include assets that you didn't use that are in the media room. I check that box and put those in there too, just in case I want to use them in the future for that project. So yeah, I always have autosave. I do file save as and give my project multiple names. And then I also, when I'm done, I pack my project materials every single time. Rob and Ali Cruise and Travel said bye from Brisbane, Australia. Better get back to doing some work now. See y'all later. Thank you for stopping through. Adrian539 says, I recommend your channel to a new YouTuber that I watch. He is new to editing. Well, thanks for doing that. I appreciate you for recommending me. I know that all of my PD peeps are out there giving recommendations and stuff. So I definitely appreciate that because it helps my channel grow. So big up to you. Neil, I'm not going to try to say what you said, but I will say the end part. All the best for Xmas and New Year's. Cheers, Malik. Cheers to you too, Neil, but I can't read that other language on that. It look like German or something. I can't get down with it. Greg Terry Experience says, thank you for all you do. You're welcome. I appreciate you for stopping through with the live stream and chilling with me tonight. Steve Williams says, pack materials is essential, or it can be hard to find masters in the future, especially if you move things around like I do. Yeah, that can really, it really helps, man, when you're looking for stuff, and like even like files that you used in something that you want to use again. It's so helpful. I love it. But Todd Copeland says, it seems that Cyberlink has only added things like library content rather than real program additions over the past several years. I would disagree with that wholeheartedly, my friend. So, but I guess it's only because I understand the way that they're going about doing the changes, Todd. So if you're looking at frequency, yes, you are right. They are more frequently adding library content, stickers, templates, effects, stuff like that. That's what they add usually. But every 3 months, just about once, like, so 4 times a year, they add some type of feature update to the program. So usually in September or October, they come out with the new version, which will have multiple feature updates. Like they came out with PowerDirector 21 in September, I think. And then 3 months later, in December, what feature did they come out with, guys? Speech to text, right? So in 3 months from now, so probably in March, you'll get another feature update. January, February, and March, you'll probably get a bunch of new stickers, audio stuff, effects, templates, transitions, yada, 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 yada. But every 3 months, from the way that what I've been seeing, they always do a new feature every 3 months. So, Todd, you're probably just so used to just seeing all these new transitions and stickers and all that stuff that you might be missing the feature updates. But they don't do a bunch of feature updates. They might do 1 or 2. So for the app in December, They did speech to text, and they did motion tracking for iOS and iPad, right? They haven't done anything for Android, which I'm expecting them to do soon, but different platforms, different functionality, so I can probably see why they're waiting to do that. But for PC, it's usually every 3 months. So keep your eyes open, Todd. You will start to notice that every 3 months with 365, you're getting some new type of feature. And it's not just the stickers and the transitions, la 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 la. Steve Williams says Happy Christmas and New Year from the UK. Same to you, Steve. Appreciate you for dropping through, my friend, and being a part of this magnificent live stream that we having. All right, guys. So I think it's getting close to my bedtime. I know y'all been awake this whole time, chilling, doing the thing, and being on here 2, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. I appreciate you guys for stopping through. It means so much to me that you guys are willing to join me. If you haven't already done so, please go ahead and hit that like button. Help support the channel with super chat, super stickers. Hit that like button. And I know you all subscribe to me, so I'm not worried about that. You guys are always on my live streams, and you're always checking out my videos. So thank you so much. Have a good night. And I'll see you next week. No, as a matter of fact, damn it, I almost messed up. Because I'm not going to see you next week. Okay? Christmas. I'm not doing another live stream until the beginning of January. So take some time to chillax with your family. That's what I will be doing. I will be having fun with my family, doing things with my friends for New Year's, all of that jazz. So for the next 2 weeks, no live streams. But I will be back strong in 2020.